There are fresh hopes of a hostage release and ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas as talks resume in Egypt today.
After numerous proof-of-life videos were released by Hamas in the last week, the Israeli government is under enormous pressure to make a deal to get hostages home and scrap plans for an invasion into Rafah. Our Middle East correspondent Alison Horn has more from Jerusalem.
Over the last few days, there's been a flurry of activity aimed at a possible ceasefire and hostage release deal. One of the key mediators, Egypt, is said to be optimistic about this new round of negotiations that have been stalled for weeks. While the war inside Gaza continues, there is a fresh proposal on the table from Israel, which Hamas is said to be considering. The Hamas delegation will travel to Cairo on Monday for continued talks with mediators. And what's spurring some of this action is Israel's planned invasion into Rafah. In Israel, there's a feeling amongst some of the families of hostages being held captive in Gaza that this moment in time could be the last real chance to negotiate to get the hostages home, and that if a Rafah invasion occurs, those talks would end. Israel's foreign minister has also said that the planned Rafah incursion could be suspended should a hostage release deal be reached. But there's also enormous pressure in Israel to keep this war going. In fact, members of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's right-wing cabinet have been releasing public videos appealing to the Prime Minister not to make a deal. They say it would be surrendering that Hamas will rise up again. And they've even threatened to quit the coalition and bring down the government if a deal is reached. But amongst the Israeli public, there's a real sense that the mood is changing. Even in Israel's right-wing and conservative media, some commentators are, for the very first time, calling for an end to this war, saying there's no logical reason why the fighting should continue in Gaza. This is a massive shift in a country which has up till this point largely supported continuing this war.